All right, greetings with the glasses, right? The X-ray vision when I need it, right? Greetings, grand rising for those who like those kind of greetings. Greetings, grand rising. High, we go high, right? We welcome everybody here. I hope you like. This is the fifth and very last one. It appears as I look down my list. I believe this is the we did everything, and this is kind of the last one that we will do. Uh, we did them all. This is called clairsentience, like clairsentience, right? Sentience. Actually, it's sentience. Clairsentience. We are definitely operating from a whole different level. We've talked about all the Claires, and I remember I made that announcement almost like Claire is coming, Claire, Clara. And I'm not talking about Leclerc's for food. I'm talking about activating your Claires, right? Which we found out actually means clear. So it's actually clearness, not not anything that's blocking, but clear. Knowledge, understanding, gifts, the powerfulness of activating those within you. Activate yourself. You got to activate that which is within you, especially if you have the knowledge to know. You got to activate, and activate those things. Turn on the switch. Quit. The switch is on, and we kind of talked about breaking the trance, breaking the affection for the system, for the construct of it, because that's the system that that keeps you from yourself, because it's kind of like an octopus. It has so many tentacles, it starts always trying to wrap you around. That's why we use the whole thing about think about when we talk about peeling back an onion, right? How we peel back layers and layers and layers trying to get to the middle or the center, or the essence of the onion. Is kind of like us. We got to get, when you're in that construct and these layers start layering you, wrapping around you, we have to remove those to start finding ourselves on the journey back out of, as we leave the construct. We don't buy the construct no more. We don't buy and sell the construct no more. That construct, or that programming system that's been put on us, right? We don't trust all the news you give us. Neither do we have an inkling to believe in any of the history you told us. We know bull jive time. Bull jive. I'm being very nice. Remember, we talked about what nice meant. Nice meant ignorant. Didn't mean, and that's part of the jive time we've been taught. Nice doesn't mean that. We do that for the word of the day, right? Powerful. You're a creator, and you got to know how to use your words wisely. Abracadabra means you create what you speak. So if you speak frequency and vibration, heaviness and low frequency and vibration on yourself, get entangled with that. You're actually what these scriptures mean about being loving the world, being entangled with the cares of life. It's all talking about the structure, not really knowing yourself, but the structure. But we're 3.5 minutes in, and I'm kind of giving a good foundation on the very last of the Clairs. But how, why, when, where, why is it now? It's needed now more than ever. Awaken, releasing yourself to your full potential and availability, and bringing unity and oneness and unity, and kick the division out the door. Here, no more dividing and conquering the program that's been ran on us. We don't touch the construct. In fact, we decrease the construct. We reverse engineered the construct. We took the program, flushed it, deactivated it. I like that. But anyways, the last one, clairsentience. We are sentience beings. Means we have feelings. We have that emotion. We feel things. We feel things with people. Even we have feelings at times. I know this is in the clairsentience. I know we're sentient beings, right? So when I hear the clear, I'm talking about a clear sentience beings, mean clear sentence or clear feelings. So a psychic ability. Notice it's a psychic ability again. A psychic ability again. All these are connected to your psychic abilities that you have, your abilities. And I always said the best way to get into ability, and the best ability to have, is availability. So if you start being availing to yourself, meaning you're told a construct to kick rocks, and you drop kicked it, then you're going to go to the very next place. What's that next place you go to? you start noticing that you got these abilities. And if you activate them by being available to yourself, and that's one of the things, even though we know a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to harp on the bitty that we had here a few years ago, right? All the stuff that was pushed for progress of the construct, right? But it also operated away from many to awaken. I remember my first video when I got the job that, hey, you can't go to your job. You're going to work from home and you're just going to make phone calls. Can't go out in the community yet. You're going to have to stay from home. I made a video called Go Home Orders, right? They were politicized, right? It's not really for me about that. But I took the go home orders to go to the true home within, because I already had knowledge of the within. It's get after myself. Gas, right? Getting after yourself. And what did I do? I got after myself, went back to the house where the true knowledge abides, and started doing the inner work, because I already knew this was crumb bum stuff outside of me they were pushing. Because right away I was like, what are these mofos doing now? I mean, when all this stuff happened. That was part of me, but I took advantage of it to say, but what you did, because you're always busy, you're always working, you're always doing this, you're doing outside this, you're doing outside this, which sometimes takes away from ourselves. We're not promoting ourselves, we're not being available. That's why I said the best ability is always availability. If you get availability, you open up your abilities. Be available to yourself, and then work on opening up and turning on the switch to your abilities. Whether they're caped, which a lot of times are caped, superhero stuff, to your abilities, right? Availability, be available to yourself. You are the deal. Numero uno. Self-love, man. Love. So think about this. So it's acquire knowledge by meaning of feeling. When you feel, and yes, it's very active on me, 3 decades, probably more, because I'm sure I know that I've had this at times even as a child. This ability to have feelings, and through the feelings know something. Psychic abilities on that I know, back kind of with the other ones, that when I feel something, it's like, I know there's times that I used to use the psychic ability to share with people, because something I would feel about them, and I would tell them about something that would happen in their past that they know I didn't know, because I didn't know them that well, but it was really a big situation. It counted big to them. So when I told them that, they go, how do you know that? They know that you're not getting it from them, because they never told you, and you don't hang around people for them to that would sing their song. So those kind of feelings for other people, feelings for me, feelings for certain situations that maybe are on the way, that I kind of knew that this is happening now, get ready for it. And also through that, I would experience that, right? Sentience is feelings. We are sentient beings. So this is the activation of this coming through you in times 10, times 20, times 30, your sentience. Meaning it's operating in a very, very heavily feeling way, but it's not feeling into the ego or feeling into the emotional realm that now wants to take control instead of being the follower or the server. This is from a whole different realm of getting knowledge and understanding that you feel, that you, when you feel it, you know that it's a fact without having the evidence outside of you, how you got that information. Yes, very much, definitely something that's been active within me for decades, probably since I was a child, my whole life. Didn't practice this as much, but I know there's times a bunch of these had popped up even as a child, and I knew. And then when I really kind of feed back on myself, I can and examine my history, I kind of realized there's things I knew that probably carried over from before, that I knew as a child, and the feelings that I had even as a child, and the conversations with self that I do remember as young as 4 and 5 years old about the function of the world, when an inner discovery within myself as a 4 or 5 year old child, spending time with myself and going through these processes of something was wrong with this construct, even as young as 4 and 5 years old, having that discussion to myself, with myself, within. I remember that very, 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 very vivid. It was at my grandma and grandpa's house. I remember that day. God, I could have been 4 or 5 years old. It must have been 66 or 67, 1966, 67. I was 4 or 5 years old. So, powerful. The activation of all these, as we're closing, the activation of all these, that's why I did the series, is this is part of your abilities and capabilities that you have to activate yourself into the higher conscious person that you really are, getting into your true identities and purposes. And some of these things, as you go into the next age and phases, are needed and being activated at this time to get on that new frequency and vibration, right? That's coming, the changes, it's happening. That's why you see so much stuff moving outside of you, even what you see outside of you in the force feeding of their programming systems is very, very rapidly, because things are happening very, very rapidly fast. And when you're trying to get ahead of something, you will do that. But also the capabilities that have been caped with us, like the superhero having capes, right? Remember, every superhero also has a weakness, right? And knowing your weakness is just as much as knowing your strength. Knowing your weakness is a strength. Knowing your weakness is a strength. Knowing your weakness is a what? A strength. Remember that. Actually, remember that little sentence right there. Knowing your weakness is a strength. But this is clarasentience. The ability, the clearness and ability to have psychic information of knowledge by feeling it. Awesome. Yes, definitely one I have operated. The smell and the taste, not as much. The smell more than the taste for me, but the others just through my whole life. The other three just really, really, really through my life. Present, I just noticed. And you all have it. I'm not special. You all have it. Wake up ability, turn on the light, turn on the processor, turn on you. Be available to yourself, to the inner real you. With your availability, we'll turn on the abilities and uncape the capabilities. You guys have a great day. This was number 5. All right.